Coming up next, the United Methodist Church.
Find your path and share the journey. The people of the United Methodist Church.
Who's the target market for this?
Well, I think that this is a political ad.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that the target market are people who aren't in the church and who they want to bring into the church. So I don't think it's evangelical or anything like that. I don't think it's current members of the church. I think that what they're trying to do is brand themselves as the church of social justice and to position themselves against other kinds of religious movements that are dominant today, especially against the kind of right-wing evangelical Christian movement. And I think this is really interesting because, in reality, the Methodist Church is very conflicted around these issues. They have a very progressive wing, but they also have W as a member and, a very sort of conservative wing. So this represents, it seems to me, the winning, the triumph of the liberal wing
of one wing over another wing.
Exactly, of the United Methodist Church.
It's like committee politics.
Exactly. And it erases the kind of conservative, anti-choice, kind of George Bush kind of message of the United Methodist Church in favor of a more kind of inclusive social justice message. It's really interesting, and it just is evidence of the rupture in the church, it seems to me.
Did you get that, or did you go after more the marketing angle?
Well, no, I picked up on similar things when they have the open doors. It's open is listed 3 different times in that ending shot, and it's very clear that they're speaking, or they're wanting you to have an idea that this is a very broad base. Of course, it's not open to really everyone, right? We know that the United Methodist Church doesn't allow in gays, lesbians. So you won't see 2 women there holding hands or any such gay couples or anything like that. But it is very much a sense of we're contrasting ourselves with other churches. And so sort of research on messages and the way people understand messages is there often an implicit theory in there, and so if you tell someone the glass is half full, it suggests that it might have been all the way full. This whole open door, open church suggests that there are closed doors and closed churches.
But we've been quiet. We've been very quiet during all these times as Christians because we believe in humility. And there are people starting to speak up and say, we've got to take our part in this and deal with things like social justice. And I didn't know if you knew this, but right now Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton are doing their own spin-off of the Baptist Church, which is to show that not all Baptists are represented by the Southern Baptists, including Jimmy Carter, who used to be one. And so I think this I actually enjoy this because it is moving more away. And there's a difference between politically and theologically liberal. And I think what is being shown in this ad is theologically liberal.
This grew on me. This spot grew on me. At first, I couldn't put it all together, because she's following, the yarn, and then she's following the stones, and then he's following the basketball hoops, and then he's following the Post-its. So I was kind of confused, and I wasn't sure, and it felt to me like it was a 60-second spot that had been cut to a 30-second spot. But I watched it a couple more times. I got to see it a few more times, and it really started to draw me in. The music is very soothing. The way they move is very slow, and it really drew me in. And now I'm a Methodist.
I knew that we'd be able to talk about this one for like an entire half hour. And it's just so much thing going on. But the first thing that jumped out at me is, do churches need a business model? I mean, it almost seems like this is aimed at membership, which is the most intrinsic correlate with their revenue. And if they don't manage that, or
Of course they do. Of course they need a business model. Absolutely. I mean, and it's a very nice parallel with politics, because politicians are brands, churches are brands. I mean, so that now I think there's this recognition that entities in the marketplace, very broadly defined, need to brand themselves accordingly, and that's what the spot is.
And it's a terrific niche that they're drawing for themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
I really think so.
One that's unique.
Tim brought up, theologically liberal versus politically liberal, and I noticed that find your path. And so often in the past, churches have said this is the one true path, and here they're saying there are many, at least variations within the dominant stream.
Yeah, I actually went back and forth on that. When they say find your own path, are they talking about find your own path including other religions, or find your own path within the framework of the Methodist Church? And I kind of went back and forth on that and couldn't tell which one they really meant.
My guess is they mean the latter, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I was actually leaning more towards the former eventually.
Because I saw them.
They all end up at the Methodist
Church.
Yeah, I
right,
did too.
Right. But that's in a powerful way.
But it's an ad for the Methodist Church, so.
I read it as find your own path to social justice, to doing good work in the world.
Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, I didn't. I saw it as find your own path to an embracing community.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people were suffering.
Time for exit question. Name a famous Methodist, Jim.
Believe it or not, the Pope is a famous Methodist. He's what they call a rhythm Methodist.
Leola.
Well, I was going to say Rush Limbaugh, but who is a famous Methodist? But Ted Bundy is the.
That's the capper.
Yeah, exactly.
Kathleen.
Ken Lay, and we wonder what good that's doing him now.
Tim.
Stephen King is a Methodist, which it's scary.
Superman is a Methodist. Who knew?